Good morning, class. Happy Tuesday and happy Cinco de Mayo. Today's objective is to take our test. Our plan for today is two things that need to get done. One is leaving some comments on the quick writes that you wrote yesterday. And second, taking your test, which is two parts. Part one's about the Constitution in general. The other part is about the Bill of Rights specifically. The order in which you do those two things doesn't matter to me as long as the comments are finished by 3 p.m. today. And both parts of the test are completed by 5 p.m. today. I've given you a 2-hour extension in case you want to work on other things from other classes first, and then just have a block of time to focus on this test. I don't by any means expect this to take 2 hours. Shouldn't even take 1 hour. It's just to give you a block of time to focus. So first thing, or second thing, depending on the order you do this, is to leave some replies on the Constitution and Cake quick writes that you guys did. Your comments should be on 3 of your classmates. I'd encourage you to find different opinions and respond to a diverse range of ideas that your classmates are posting. I have left comments on each one of yours, leaving some rhetorical questions for you to consider. Just think through. You don't need to literally respond to them, but I do encourage you to challenge yourself to think through them. Your comments should be doing things such as asking questions, affirming thinking, giving a counterexample, or challenging/encouraging each other. I do want them to be conversational. I don't want it to end the conversation. I want it to encourage further thought and further conversation with a focus on dialogue. So make sure they are meaningful, appropriate, and specific. Once again, do that for at least 3 of your classmates. If you would like to do more, go for it. I think this is an interesting issue. I think it gets at the heart of a lot of what it means to be a Christian today in the United States of America and how we live out our faith, not just with political issues, but with social issues. My challenge for you is, does your faith inform your politics and views on society, or do your politics and views on society inform your faith? And I would argue that the latter is dangerous and the former is what Christians ought to strive for. For your test, once again, there's 2 parts. Part 1 is just titled the Constitution Test. It is open note, but it will lack your Chromebook. If you don't have a Chromebook that you're using, you'll have the same test, but a different version of it, so you'll still be able to do it. This will not include applying the Bill of Rights. There will be a couple of extended response questions that I'll review once again in this video. If you have questions about those, please ask me before you start your test. Second is the Bill of Rights. You are encouraged to use your graphic organizer about the Bill of Rights to do it, which means your Chromebook will not be locked, and that will be a part of your test grid. So these 2 will be joined as one, and this needs to be finished by 5 p.m. Once again, those 2 extended response questions, they're not the only ones, they're just the ones that you might have questions about, so I want to go through them. First, choosing an amendment after the Bill of Rights, so it can't be amendments 1 through 10. Also, it cannot be the one that you did during your presentation that you think is the most important, and explain why using multiple reasons, examples, and complete sentences. There is a Quizlet in the review materials post on later amendments that you can go through to help you make that decision. Please make sure you clearly describe which amendment you are talking about. The second one that I just want to go through deals with 1 Corinthians 6 through 12, dealing with the rights that you have, but the fact that not all rights are beneficial, and you don't want to be mastered by anything, even if you have the right to do it. So the Constitution is the law of the land for the United States. The Bible should be the highest law in our hearts as Christians. Consider the tension that may exist when the Constitution lets you do something or doesn't let you do something. But when we look at Scripture and the life of Jesus, it maybe suggests that we do or don't do the opposite of that. So you need to come up with your own example of a situation that's realistic where that could be the case. Explain how those ideas are contradictory to each other, what the Constitution says versus what Scripture says, and then explain a Christian faith-based response to it, referencing 1 Corinthians 6 through 12, that passage above. Once again, if you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, don't forget the quick write comments and replies, and don't forget that your test is due 5 p.m., not 3 p.m. I will talk to you more tomorrow.